Home loan approvals are taking up to 8 weeks. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, I'm Florian.Heise and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at this article from Domain discussing, well, home loan approvals taking up to 8 weeks' time. Now, let me know in the comments, have you been looking at getting a home loan? You're looking at refinancing. Is it easy? Is it taking time? 8 weeks, 2 months? A lot can change in 2 months' time. So let's have a look at this. How's it going to affect the property market? You know, that property market that's always apparently booming now. How's it going to affect if people are desperate to sell, if they get the tap on the shoulder before the support mechanisms get pulled out? You know, all the government money that's being splashed everywhere, or the fact that the banks are giving people a holiday on their mortgage until March. They're going to be people that are told, you need to sell, you need to get out, or refinance with someone else. Home loan approvals take up to 8 weeks as the pandemic crisis pressures hit the banks, according to brokers. So home loan approval times have blown out to up to 8 weeks as extra pandemic crisis-related processes and the sheer number of customer inquiries take their toll, mortgage brokers are saying. In pre-pandemic times, home buying hopefuls were able to get a response from a financial institution within a week to get the ball rolling on their application. But with a steady stream of first-time purchases, refinancing requests, and a record number of loan deferrals being processed due to the pandemic-sparked recession, the banks are under the pump. Now, the refinancing, I can understand. I mean, it's even if you just want to get a better deal, it's smart to get some options to put it back to your bank. We had one viewer suggest how his bank wouldn't budge at all on his interest. Then he got an offer from Westpac, and I think he went back to his bank, and they said, we'll match Westpac and give you $3,000 if you stay with us. So he took that, told Westpac, they'll say, come back to us in some time. And I'll let you know when he gets in touch if the whole thing works out for him. Because remember, they have to pay a fee to the broker. So if they can keep you, they can save, might as well give you that money. It comes as the value of new home loans that were granted rebounded 6.2% in June as the economy reopened after the first wave of the coronavirus crisis, according to the ABS figures released on Wednesday, and covering the period before Melbourne's new outbreak. So here we haven't seen the actual ramifications of the new Victorian lockdown. We haven't seen the impact of stage 4. RBA is warning that this is going to increase our unemployment for some time, that we're going to definitely have some issues here with regards to the Australian economy. But the value of new loans remains down on previous months against a backdrop of the mammoth $274 billion in deferred repayments of home loans and small business loans. $274 billion. We were looking at in a previous episode at some articles where you'd have professionals, project managers, people on 6 figures who didn't even have enough money set aside for an emergency fund. They were depending on this loan deferral. And I guess it's an old-fashioned concept, isn't it? No one has money set aside anymore because money's so cheap to borrow. It's so easy to borrow. I mean, you can even borrow money using Afterpay, make easy payments, no interest. Why wouldn't you? Buy that useless piece of crap you don't need. Go into debt for it. It's good times. Property always goes up, guys. There's never been a recession in living memory. Just think about how many people in the workforce have never been through a recession. I barely remember one. I was a child during the last recession. As architects, we tend to be the canaries in the coal mine, so we started noticing it when the GFC hit, our game got hit really hard. We noticed it when the mining work started slowing down. For us, that was a big, that was a nice little gravy train we were riding up as we started our business. It was just flowing like nothing. I just had to take people on and on and on. We probably grew a bit too fast, to be honest. Part of the lessons you learn. But there you go, When times are good, you never think they'll end. And now this is the lesson. This is the journey. I remember talking to some older engineers going, don't worry, Florian. It comes up and down. It's in waves. That's the way it is. That's the way business is. You've got to reap while times are good. But unfortunately, some people never have experienced bad times. So they didn't sow. All of this has had an impact on turnaround times for home loans, according to mortgage choice broker Desley Taylor. In the past 2 months, we've submitted a record number of applications. It's crazy how busy it is, Ms. Taylor said. The flow on from that is it takes longer for home loans to be approved. The banks are much more thorough in the assessment of the application. They're coming back to ask more questions than they would in the past. For example, for initial assessment, the average would be no longer than 3 to 5 days maximum pre-pandemic, whereas the lenders are now sitting at 9 to 12 days. She said on average, an unconditional approval was taking about 3 weeks. Foster Ramsey finance principal and mortgage broker Chris Foster Ramsey said, with the majority of home loan applications affected by the pandemic, coupled with a major push to attract new customers through low fixed rates, banks were inundated with work. Living expenses, income, and verification of documentation is becoming much more serious and much more in-depth, he said. The bottleneck is due to both the number of applications in the system as well as verification over and above what is being done. There was a massive push in April, May, and June by a lot of lenders to entice customers to refinance with rebates led by ANZ, who went very hard with their refinancing rebate and really took on a lot of work. Their doors are essentially shut at the moment, saying don't send us any work at the moment. He added that the approval process for some banks now took anywhere between 2 to 8 weeks. You've got other banks like CBA Bank, West and Macquarie Bank, who have been able to hold their times to 2 days. Hold their times of 2 days to a week, which is what it normally would be. An ANZ spokesman contacted by Domain confirmed home loan approval wait times at the bank had lengthened to 8 weeks due to record volumes of applications, with a large share from refinancing requests. So people are trying to take advantage of the cash rate. I mean, I'll bring up here the cash rate, 0.25. Remember, we thought that was insane at one time. Do you think we'll hit negative, guys? Do you think we'll hit negative? The bank has since added extra resource to deal with workload and prioritize applicants who were buying new homes over refinancing in a bid to reduce wait times, which should be down to 3 weeks as a result, according to the spokesman. Down to 3 weeks. On top of the extra workload of meticulous checks and verification of applicants' information, the banks themselves have been hit by the pandemic in a range of ways, beginning with offshore processing credit teams, which caused delays at the outset. But that has been compounded over time as the pandemic continues to throw logistical hurdles as well, according to Hunter Gallo mortgage broker Jaden Vico. It's that issue of remote credit teams, and also the banks had the deferral process, so they had to relocate staff to that because they didn't have automated processes, he said. You have the flow-on effect of a valuer unable to physically inspect properties. Some banks use external solicitors, but there are so many people involved in the ecosystem, a one-day delay here and a one-day delay there blows out the process. The first home loan deposit scheme was also added to the workload. On the 1st of July, NAB and CBA got hit by a big spike of applications. That's also caused processing backlogs. Smart Move mortgage broker Michael Leitz said the sheer volume had naturally slowed turnaround times, but some lenders and applications were picked up within 2 days. Each application is a case-by-case scenario, he said. If they've got a stronger deal, then they may be able to look at it a bit more favorably. So there we have it, everyone. Mortgage applications are taking a long time. A very long time, it sounds like. And a big part of that is refinancing. And I can understand why people are taking advantage of it. What's going to happen when the mortgage holidays disappear? What's going to happen when some of these people are trying to sell and the people who are lining up to buy these properties take a month or two to get their processing, their paperwork even done? We'll have to see, everyone. We'll have to see. As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve or Kucoin. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone. I'll see you all in the next episode.